How's it going, everyone? We are looking at the Nuka-World on tour update for today, December 6th. Looking forward to jumping into the update with the community, checking out the new events and everything that this update has brought. If you haven't been a part of these videos, I like to go through the, let's say, patch notes and highlight certain things. I do skim through some of the patch notes, so do be sure to check out the link that'll be provided in the description for the full list, but I am going to be focusing on, let's say, some of the new content, my thoughts and perspective on what this will mean being added to the game. I'm not too familiar with the new content just yet. I haven't had a chance to run it myself. I have seen a little bit of a few of the events. I'm looking forward to running that with the Twitch community. So if you're also on Xbox and want to join us there, feel free to come through. But let's see what we do have to look forward to. Again, we're looking at the Nuka-World on Tour update. It's saying the Nuka-World on Tour Traveling Roadshow has finished unpacking their tents, stocked the Nuka-Cade with rewards, and is ready for visitors. Venture to the fairgrounds west of Lake Reynolds and the Ash Heap to play 3 brand new public events, earn rewards in the Nuka-Cade, and unleash the largest region boss we've implemented into 76 to date, the Ultracite Titan. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. Right off the bat, I'll say our last boss that was added is Earl, or was Earl, I should say, and that kind of goes both ways. You either are into running some Earls and trying to see what you can get, or you really don't like them. I would say there's a lot of people in our community that have ran plenty of Queens compared to Earls, and that seems to be the preferred thing. I'm very curious to see what that means for the game, the popularity, how it's going to look long term, if people would rather, let's say, run the Ultracite Titan versus the Queen, where it stands kind of in the rankings, but we'll get more into that down the road. We do have 3 new public events to look forward to. We have Spin the Wheel, Most Wanted, and Tunnel of Love. For Spin the Wheel, it's saying join Bottle and Cappy in the Big Top Tent to become a contestant during the Spin the Wheel game show. So this one I saw a little bit of. I did see somebody spin the wheel, then it said boss, and then it kind of turned to the side and there was a bunch of sheep squatch running around. Very interested in seeing, let's say, the different tiers and what all that turns into. But yeah, it's saying contestants who survive 5 rounds will walk away with fabulous prizes. Looking forward to new weapons and other goodies to collect. For Most Wanted, saying mosey on over to Wild West Town, where Gunther is putting on a rootin' tootin' time during his Wild West show. All he needs to set the stage is a few hotshot gunslingers like you to perform as outlaws. Once the event begins, fleece the town and its citizens to their belongings and stash any ill-gotten valuables into your getaway wagon. Then prepare to defend your haul against the long robotic arm of the law. Then we topple the sheriff during the ensuing shootout, and you'll be able to ride off into the sunset with some loot. Again, some new events, some new loot. And then we do have the Tunnel of Love. I understand this one is more, you're kind of going through, finding different things, repairing different things, and then you're able to actually go through and complete the event. And then it's saying again, don't worry, trekking into the depths of the mine shaft to hang out or hang some heart-shaped decor should be a safe and speedy venture for a sturdy explorer such as yourself. After all, it has been abandoned for quite some time. So yeah, not a foreshadowing of running into any issues or anything along the way, but again, we have 3 new events. Very excited for this. In terms of the last update that brought 3 new events, we had Moonshine Jamboree, Eviction Notice, and Test Your Metal. Personally, 2 of the 3 of those I really enjoy running. Most of the time I'll show up to all 3 of them regardless, but let's just say Eviction Notice and Moonshine Jamboree are definitely favorites. So if we can at least get similar odds in terms of what we're looking at for these new events, I am excited to see how we can incorporate that into the schedule, or at least the grind and collection of different prizes and loot and everything else that we can collect. And then it's saying For the first 4 weeks of this update, Nuka-World on Tour public events will have priority when new events appear, and then I'll stop at the start at the top of the hour. We've seen this before. I like that because at least you kind of get warmed up and see what the new events are about, and then it kind of becomes trickled in to be more of a rare find. I'm curious to see if they're going to, in the future, buff, let's say, other events. So if you're not getting the newest events as often after this first initial month, you're then able to, I don't know, I'm always a fan of buffing up and not nerfing down, or at least making everything kind of feasible, especially goes with events, as we do have our favorites that we like to run. But yeah, more events is definitely a good thing to look forward to. Saying win prizes at the Nuka-Cade. That's not all that's arriving with the tour. Grab a fistful of caps and head to the Nuka-Cade to try your hand at carnival games that are sure to be fun for the whole family. It's got all your favorites, like Bandit Roundup, Nuka-Zapper Race, and a Whack-A-Kami. We're also proud to introduce Bottle Blaster, which will truly test your might. As you play, you'll earn Nuka-Cade points, which you can redeem to get exciting prizes. I like this. I'm a big fan of the idea of making like a little hub. Even if you're doing little mini games or this and that, the idea of kind of making certain areas a little bit more lively. Again, the hub aspect, I would like to see more of, and have just different areas be more active. So let's say for the Ash Heap and kind of where this is and near Lewisburg, it's kind of nice to see the area transformed. And over time, I'm curious to see if they'll continue to have these larger scale renovations of sorts, I guess. We'll see. Time will tell. New region boss, the Ultracite Titan. P has been hard at work trying to repair the air filters throughout the carnival, but the parts he needs are scattered deep within the earth in an abandoned mineshaft. He's also convinced that a massive creature has made its home down there. Oh boy. And then saying, Pete is hoping that some keen dwellers can investigate and then launch an attack that's powerful enough to blast the field to smithereens from afar. However, those who undertake this dangerous task should keep in mind that if the monster survives, a direct confrontation with the beast will be unavoidable. So I'm looking forward to that. I've seen a little bit of content on that. Honestly, I'm trying to go in a little blind still, and I haven't jumped into the game to experience the new content. But a new boss is something I'm definitely looking forward to. Ultracite Titan, we'll see where it kind of stands on the scale of difficulty compared to Earl, compared to the Queen. Comparing all that to how much resources you're using, ammo, things like that. Kind of time it takes. And today we are kicking off Season 11. Nuka-World. Nuka-World isn't limited to just traveling roadshow. With today's update, we have a brand new Nuka-Cola themed season to quench your thirst. Turn around Nuka-World, tour around Nuka-World, visiting iconic locations such as Dry Rock Gulch, Safari Adventure, and more. Complete daily and weekly challenges to earn score and unlock some new items such as Sheep Squatch Power Armor Paints, oh boy, I have to see this, camp item consumables, a new light ally, and more. So I'm not the biggest fan of like power armor personally. I don't really use it yet. But if I have a collection of Sheep Squatch Power Armor, let's see, maybe I might jump in this season. It's also saying for this season, we're also introducing a brand new reward to the Scoreboard, the Scouts banner. I believe this gives you some bonuses. I'm not sure if it gives you all of them though. Let's see. As an honorary member of the Pioneer Scouts, they've entrusted you with the banner you can raise during battle against NPCs to give you and your team members that extra boost to turn the tides in a tough fight. Okay, so it is one of 5 bonuses that you're getting. Let's say heal 20% HP, restore all AP, repair weapon conditions by 10%, repair armor conditions by 10%, or highlight enemies for 5 seconds. Interesting. Curious to see how many we're going to be getting. It kind of has like lunchbox vibes, if you will. Curious to see if you can pop like a certain amount of them before an event. Does it really help? Saying like highlight enemies for 5 seconds, you're not getting a whole lot. Curious. New feature, the Fallout First ammo storage box. Yeah, this, I did get a chance to at least move some ammo before recording this video, and I'm liking it. So I personally was putting a pause on Fallout First, but I think the ability to stash a bunch of ammo is going to be a very nice benefit. Especially that ever since I heard of this thing being released, I've been just putting ammo to the side, ammo to the side. So now I've been able to relieve my 1200 out of 1200 stash box a little bit. So yeah, that's a very nice feature. Very glad they added that. I'm curious to see what else in terms of like incentives they'll use to bolster Fallout First. But if you haven't, definitely claim that if you are a Fallout First member. They did bring out the free cam. Says build like never before with the free cam. Free cam is a new quality of life feature that we're introducing in 76, and the easiest way to explain it is kind of very similar to No Man's Sky. You're able to detach yourself from the character. What's interesting though is, let's say in No Man's Sky, it kind of feels like you have that pivot point as your character, as you're going to the furthest extents of where you can go. In 76, I like the way they did it because you can kind of just freely fly around the entirety of your camp without necessarily being constricted to your character. It's like, oh, move a little bit so so this is going to be very useful for a lot of camp builders. I do know people are waiting for this update to come out to work on some other camp, let's say, projects, and I'm looking forward to what people can do now, especially more vertical builds. Definitely a nice addition. Alright, so additional design changes and improvements. So nothing changed today, and it's saying weapon changes. Players who tried out Nuka-World on tour while it was on the public test server are aware that we originally planned to release a new system that combats illegal attachment combinations to weapons that violate the ULA. We need a bit more time to implement this than originally projected, and as a result, we will not be releasing the system with today's update. So it's been very interesting because we've known about this for a few days now. People's response to this has been kind of both ways. So we'll see when this next update comes out. It says as we continue to work on it, they'll let us know in a future Inside the Vault. So I don't know. That could mean like weeks from now. So we'll see what this turns into and when that update will come out. Part of me thinks the first full month will have us running the newest content, running the boss, kind of logging information. If let's say the duration of the event is the appropriate time, if DPS being done on average by multiple servers. I kind of look at it to that degree where I'm curious to see after that time frame, maybe some implementation or changing of certain weapons with these combinations, as they're calling them. I'm curious to see after that if they would tweak it even further. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see what the next so many Inside the Vaults have to tell us. We do have our bug fixes, improvements, a few different things. I'm going to kind of skip through this, but I will make sure that the link is in the description. There are a few things that I've seen a few people in the community complain about that have been fixed. There's been a lot of smaller things, but on a larger scale you're seeing a lot of different events being kind of tweaked for bugs here and there. Expeditions as well. I did see one thing that I'm not going to skip over, and it's all the way at the end, if I remember correctly. If we go to weapons, the Radium rifle is no longer considered an energy weapon and can now drop with the explosive bullets legendary effect. Which means I'm going to be rerolling some Radium rifles. I think I may just collect some of the ones that I have put to the side. I have rolled, let's say, Radium rifles before and haven't had anything too crazy pop up. But now that I can roll these into something with explosive, I'm very interested. And again, I'm going to be posting these, posting up the link for these patch notes here. Be sure to check out any of the bug notes if you're interested in finding out that. But I'm very interested in jumping in soon with the community. I will be on some 76 and checking out expeditions and other things that we've been running. We may have figured out how to get 2 plans per week. We'll see what that turns into. But yeah, ask us in the Twitch chat how that's going. I will see everybody for some Nuka-World on tour soon. Hope you found a little bit of what I had to say and not just reading this informative. Again, when we're looking at 3 new events for the history of the game and my experience, Moonshine Jamboree, Tester Medal, and Eviction Notice were a solid 3 events to add. That's something that we regularly are looking forward to on the different event dropping. So if every like 15-20 minutes or so we're looking at events popping up, especially for this first month, we'll get a good taste of what all these events have in store for us. A lot of different plans and other rewards to collect. I'm looking forward to this. Alright, Nuka-World on tour.